Well,
What's up?
can you hear yourself pretty well?
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, welcome out to the compound. I know I've been talking to Lunar Thought about you guys for the past couple weeks. I've been watching the vlogs, and
Yeah.
I am a big fan of YouTube, and I've watched a lot of vlogs, and I've created some of my own. But I definitely love seeing people going out there and chasing their dreams, and really doing stuff that they love, and really being 150% in. Because
Yeah.
that's what it looks like you guys are.
Definitely.
Yeah, and something else that you're going to want to do is maybe you raise your chair up a little bit. There you go, you're good. And then come a little bit closer into the mic. You're good.
Yeah. Is that
Exactly.
better?
It's all
All right,
good,
cool.
and this is really a media experience. It's a just an opportunity to get to chop it up, and so it's awesome to have you out.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I'm glad to be here. I had seen about you, and it's I look around and just get inspired being in like this type of environment because it's rare.
Yeah, thank you
To
for
see.
sure, for sure.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I see a lot of like what we do, because we have a studio. I'm about to pop these out.
Yeah, you're good.
Because we have a studio in just like a town like this,
Yeah,
not a
Owensville.
city.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'm from Middletown. I don't know if you know where that is.
Yeah. Because I know you guys have been having those big events out there. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we like to throw our own shows called the Backwoods Invasion, and we're about to throw the third one. Hopefully this year, we're trying to still find a spot for it, but like
Yeah, that
basically,
may be something that we're a part of.
yeah, we'll talk further on that.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely. And that's really what this opportunity is for, that, rather than us being on a phone call for 45 minutes, we're on a podcast for 45 minutes. And, not only is it a benefit for us, but, I don't want to speak for myself here, but my short-term memory is not all the way there. So if I want to refer back to another meeting, you know what I'm going to go to do? I'm going to look back at the podcast and go, hey, we talked about, this event that you want to have. X, Y, and Z. I can send it to my different partners that we're looking at Coney Island for DJ Hope Halloween. What other times of the year, like what time of the year do you guys usually have this event?
It's been the fall, but we were trying to do something in the summer this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's a casual Crooks show. We do shows with like wise words and the mock.
Yeah,
like
shout
a
out to
legendary place.
Chris
Yeah,
Chris
and
Wise.
Zen, all them.
Yeah.
But it's not the same like when we're throwing our own show, when we're in control of what we're doing, the music, how long of a set we get, everything is like when we do something.
It's your own show.
Yeah, and we put in the time and the effort to make that shit go through how we want it to.
Yeah.
Granted, we know like
Would you want it to be a more, urban location, or would you like
Yeah.
to still try to keep it out, more in the country?
in the country. I
Yeah,
didn't
same
mean-
here.
yeah.
It's a lot more, access, and you can be a whole heck of a lot louder.
And that's the vibe that we want, like Backwoods Invasion. We want it to feel like it's in your backyard.
Yeah.
And it was the first year. That's kind of where the name came from.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to have you do now that we're a little bit warmed up is grab the clacker and go ahead and introduce yourself.
Through this camera? What it is, what it ain't, man. It's Kenic Rifle, live and direct at College Beats. Came up in here from Middle Tucky. Middle Tucky's finest on the way, Fourth Coast.
Nice. Yeah. You talked a lot about that Fourth Coast. Where does that come from?
Man, it comes from loving UGK, Pimp C, all that. Like, I listen to a lot of music, but like one thing that really has influenced me heavy is just Southern hip hop. And, I would be listening to DJ Screw tapes and like hear them be like, coming live from the Third Coast. And it's weird, but just like I would feel that presence, and I felt like I was like even though I'm from Ohio, I felt like I
we're
was
in the
down
heart.
there.
Yeah, exactly, and we're in the heart of the country, so we don't
Yeah.
really have much.
Yeah, so and that's what I love is
Or
like,
fresh fish, for that matter.
Yeah, and so it was like I know that we technically like geographically don't have like a coast, but it's like nah, fuck that. We're in the rap world, like, and we're our own coast, like Midwest, like you know what I'm saying? Like everyone comes out of these different coasts and they like to work together, but I feel like in the Midwest everyone scrams.
Yeah, so
like,
the
to make
Midwest
it.
Coalition.
Yep. exactly.
The
But it
Midwest Fantasy Factory.
yeah, you know,
That's what
like,
we're in right now.
yeah, pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. And like I said,
Yeah.
man, this is now yours, really. That what we want to
Hell
do
yeah.
is like 50, 50, 50, 50, 50 split sheets. And we have a lawyer, so everything that we do is completely legal. We have our own bank. We have our own insurance. We have all of the bells and whistles. So, no matter what we do here, there's going to be paperwork on it. So nobody's going to be able to complain.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, whether or not you're sweeping up the floors or you're laying down the hooks, everybody's going to treat everybody as equals and really, respect throughout the whole process. Because what I've learned is artists are pretty emotional. DJs are wannabe artists. Producers are just pissed off all the time because they're getting used and abused. And then engineers are actually pretty chill. Like from what I've known, shout out Chris from Timeless. He's pretty laid back. But what experience have you had with the industry in Cincinnati? I know you're coming from the east side, or what? I'm obviously coming from the east side of town. Like where is Middletown? Like as far as Cincinnati,
It's just right.
give it to me.
It's above it's above Cincinnati, and it's just right below Dayton.
Okay.
So it's just right
So like
in the
off to the top right.
Probably, I don't even know.
Like
that.
Liberty Township, would you say?
Yeah, that's like north.
Okay.
Or actually, that's more south.
Yeah.
So we're more north.
Well, we're over here talking about geography. I also want to talk about your team. Like Lunar did a couple shout outs, but I know that you're obviously, a big part of it. So if you want to talk a little bit about your team.
Yeah, basically, I'll give you the rundown, like of just me, who I am, and what I do. So my name's Kenic Ray, and I got that name. I grew up on Kenic, like the street, and it's real like diverse. Like it starts off in the suburbs, but when you go down, it ends in like apartment complex. And it was just like I would ride my bike down that street and just get that vibe. And I always wanted to just keep where I was from with me. So I put that on Travis Ray. That's what my dad named me. He said it was like a musician's name. So I put Kenic Ray. When I got Kenic Ray, I started like making music because of Mac Miller, but it was like perfect that's like how I like got into it, because when I figured out Mac Miller, that was a time when I was real just in the 60s, 70s rock, already wanting to do music, just not hip hop. But I love Jim Morrison and his poetry, and that's what made me want to rap. And then, so I came along Devin, and then I always knew that like...
Yeah, because let's talk a little bit about Devin Burgess, because he's actually been out to the pool house.
Yeah, he was like, he really mentored me at first, and he kind of put that in me, like where I like to do that to like other up-and-coming artists themselves.
Yeah, do you know the whole story behind the meme of him being retired?
I really don't. I just kind of like started seeing him out more, like, because at this time we were more distant, but I would just always catch him in the road. But all I know is I would be like, bro, you rapping or anything? He'd be like, I'm retired. So I don't know.
So he's always been retired since you've known him?
Not at all. I knew him, early on. But it's just the memories are hitting. And like,
absolutely.
He's definitely like, that's my OG.
Yeah, so like, how would you say that you got here?
I got here from wanting it. And for real, just like not giving up. Like, I don't really be thinking much of like, I think of the future, but it's like to an extent. It's like, bro, all I'm concerned on is what the fuck I'm doing today and tomorrow. I'm prepared for tomorrow and I'm living today. And it's like, I looked up to Lunar when I first saw him, and it was like, that was kind of a guy that I looked up to as like, damn, like I want to be like what he's doing type shit. And it just came natural, like through the laws of the universe that we linked up. We have Casual Crooks. Me and Slump, I met up with Slump. Zach Slump, he's a rapper, and we both came up with Casual Crooks. He wanted to be called Casual Crook, like he was thinking of a rap name, and I was like, nah, that sounds like a click name, Casual Crooks. I drew the logo out for it.
Yeah, because I'm very casual myself. Me and my friends, casual bass fishermen.
Hey,
I see
something about bass fishing.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got about 24 videos bass fishing. I've got a couple bass fishing friends that have 100,000 followers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so he wants to bring out some rappers on some bass boats. You know,
Bro,
think
I'm
about
totally about
yeah,
that.
exactly. So think about
150%.
Lantana out on a bass boat.
That'd be great. That's a vibe. I was just at my grandpa's in Tennessee, and some girl got a full ride to college for bass fishing.
Fishing?
Yeah.
Wow, that
I was like, man, that's
sign
the
her
first
up.
time I heard that.
Sign her up.
But
What you were talking about, you know, more short-term goals, like what would be something that is long-term but attainable, maybe, you know, another show at, let's say, Coney Island, or that's, you know, obviously something that we can accomplish, but what would be something that would just be seemingly unattainable, right? And you can obviously approach it like, oh, well, nothing's unattainable, but let's
Nah, like,
start a
realistic.
conversation. Like, what would be, you know, your Mac Miller type of fantasy? Obviously, you know, R.I.P. Mac Miller, because he was a big part of my childhood as well. You know, him and Wiz for sure.
yeah, I got to meet Mac Miller one time, and I talked to him for like a little second, and he showed respect and stuff, and like I went to ID Labs and like really felt that energy and recorded in ID Labs, and I don't know, that was just like, you know, I want to put my, you know, just a pause for him. You know, I don't know, that's just like, it's crazy because he had a big impact on me, but it was more of like how to live, like it's okay to be yourself.
I mean, it was a brother. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like the older brother, because I was an only child.
Okay.
You know, so it was kind of like the older brother that I never had.
Yeah.
You know, in a sense of just the right vibes at the right time.
Yeah.
You know, good times.
But I'm sorry, I kind of got off.
Yeah,
What were you
absolutely.
saying?
We were talking about Mac Miller and just the influence that he's had on your music, and what other influences would you say that you have?
Pimp C, definitely Pimp C from UGK. Kevin Gates. Yeah, they in there hollering, whatever. They just talking.
All right.
You want to tell them to be
Yeah,
quiet?
I mean, you can run over there if you
Yeah,
want
I'll
to.
go tell
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Technical difficulties. Got a couple boys in their shenanigans, but that's you know, a part of the process. And good thing we have a little office lobby,
Yeah.
keep them under control. What kind of stories do you have from traveling? Let's talk about that.
Man, just it's dope. My first time, I always told myself I'm gonna get on an airplane the first time because of music, and I did. Went to Austin, Texas for South by Southwest, so that was cool. Went to Cali, and shout out to Stephen Cannon because he showed a lot of love to the Crooks when we were out there, and we recorded like
Great.
where where they just be like the Xanarchy spot.
Yeah.
It was like a cool
Yeah, I'm a
studio.
big fan of Little Xans and No Jumper. I mean, obviously this is, you know, very
Yeah.
closely based off of Adam 22.
Yeah.
You know, big fan.
But basically, bro, I like all types of music, like all types. You know, I like Jimmy Page a lot from Led Zeppelin, had a lot of influence to me. Jim Morrison. Yeah, like definitely, but Nipsey Hussle, you know, that's another big person. I just like doing something that's bigger than myself. That's like my big thing. It's like I'm Kenic Ray. I'm basically just a rapper from the Midwest, but what I'm representing is like you can be who you want to be, but if you're gonna do that, you have to embrace it because it's gonna be hard. There's gonna be a lot.
You gotta
of
be
backlash.
yourself.
You gotta
know,
be yourself.
And
in
I
this
think
life.
that's why so many people have so much trouble, is because they don't know themselves. That, you
Yeah,
know, I may
definitely.
fail, but at least I'm failing being myself.
Yeah.
I mean, how bad does it feel to fail but not being yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, that's really where you feel bad and depressed.
Yeah.
You know, at least I know what I put myself into.
And I'm trying to just explain what it's like growing up in the Midwest. No one really has, like, no one has really said that in the hip hop world.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that's doing it, like, and it's crazy because I say it like that. Just everything I do, I look at is like, I don't know, like I've done it, like I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like,
So talk to me about the stories that you have from your vlogs.
funny stuff, bro. We are always clowning, like when we're
Exactly. That's
together.
why I'm trying to give a little promo for the vlogs.
Yeah, the vlogs, bro, you will see us just high, smoking, rapping, goofing around. I had one of my friends brothers, like, watched the vlogs and was, bro, like Kenic Ray is low key kind of crazy. Like I got that reaction. I was, hey, bro, that's cool. Like I just act out. I'm in different moods. Like right now, I'm in a more chill mood, but on the vlogs, everything's amped up. There's no filter. It's like our true selves.
It just goes. It just goes.
And that's what's cool is because like just that energy of us, like no filter being ourselves.
Yeah.
People can watch that and it just like inspires them in a weird way.
Well, it's almost relaxing because I feel like a lot of productions, like especially the productions that I do, they're pretty formal, right? Because like I said, we're dealing with lawyers, we're dealing with, these other publications, so we have to be, above the board, but that's why we work with different artists like you, and why we would like to feature your vlogs on our channel as well. So that's something else that we can talk about, and I have other channels, Hip Hop Guru, and different people. Let me go check my phone.
Yeah, you're cool.
Yeah. Your head is on there. All right, I gotta go. I'm in the middle of an interview. It's fucking waste of time. Another little technical difficulty, but
Yeah, bro, I love hip hop though. Live it, breathe it, like.
But I want to feature your vlog series on College Beats. Can you send me the video files?
My man, you would have to talk to Spaceman.
Okay.
Cause he has them. I don't know, like.
Okay. Cause like what we need to do is put together a network. That's what we need. We need a Midwest broadcasting network. MBN.
So you already thought about this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what's
that
up?
We might as well, put all of our efforts together. Donuts and Alcohol, College Beats, Doubleson, Timeless, Chris Wise. We need to all create one major company and make it the umbrella to everything else. And I have the lawyers to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know, man. You gotta have the right people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, so who would you suggest would be the right people?
The right people, definitely, like, you have to have Casual Crooks under that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being straight up.
Of course, man.
Like, I'm not lying.
Well, and I know, like, this is the first time we've chopped it up as well, and I had to explain to him as well, because, there's a lot of situations where there's other interviewers, and there's no real relationship, and I told you that, I didn't just want to come right on and, hit a quick lick. Like, I wanted to vibe out and, like, hear some of your story, because it's like, I'm not just here to interview you, right? This camera just happens to be sitting here, right? The camera is secondary to the relationship that we have. And I think that a lot of people in society don't really understand that, they're just a fly on the wall. The audience, like, although, they pay the bills, you need, 1,000 true fans in order to survive for the rest of your life. But in all reality, this is our reality, and if we don't have a genuine relationship, this really isn't going to go very far. That it may look good on camera, but we really need to be able to have love for each other. And if that's not the case, I think that's where, your team has it. Like, I've been able to chop it up with Lunar for the past, year or so now. What's the whole story of you getting to know Lunar?
My whole story was I would be at Devin's getting my stuff mixed and mastered, and then I was working on a project, Moments Over Time. It was getting mixed, and Lunar would just pop through because they were close, and they were, like, working on music. So I was like, oh, that's Lunar Thoughts. I had seen him on the gram, his little videos. I was, man, these shits are hard, like, yada, yada, yada. But bro was rapping a lot when I first met him. And
he actually just laid down a freestyle as well.
Yeah, I heard that shit.
How do you got anything for me?
Yeah, I can spit.
All right, let's see what we can